Hi folks, you are already familiar with the LTSpice GUI and toolbox. In last couple of episodes, you have become familiar with the basic active and passive elements. In this episode, we will construct a CMOS NAND gate using 4 monolithic NMOSFETs and PMOSFETs, where the PMOSFET has double the area of the NMOSFET for mobility balancing. We will apply pulsed waveforms shaped like square waveforms as the two input of the constructed NAND gate. The two square waves have different on time and off time to suit the truth table combination of a 2-input NAND gate. We will apply proper DC biasing and transient analysis to check the functionality and performance of the constructed CMOS NAND gate. So stay tuned, stay focused. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be making the circuit of CMOS NAND and we will be using the LTSpice as usual. In last couple of episodes, you have become familiar more and more with the LTSpice. So without any further delay, let's begin. This is our LTSpice canvas and it's blank right now. Let me click on a new file icon. This has opened a new schematic canvas which is blank. Let me save this file first. And then I click the save as, and here I give a name CMOS NAND gate. So we save this circuit here in this particular folder where we were saving all the circuits. I click on save and it saves the circuit. You can see here the name of the file is getting displayed, the CMOS NAND gate. So we will be working on this file and let me start on the circuit. So here we will be using 4 monolithic MOSFETs, 2 PMOS and 2 NMOS. So let me place them first. So I go to components and here I go for the PMOS, that is PMOS 4. And here you can see this is monolithic MOSFET. So it has a substrate connection. So I'll click the PMOS 4 and I'll click place. So there will be 2 PMOS and this is the first PMOS. Let me place it and I place the second PMOS here and I right click to vanish it. Now let me zoom out a bit and let me click again here. Go to the NMOS 4 which is again the monolithic MOSFET with a substrate connection. So I'll click place and now I'll place 2 NMOS. First NMOS I place here and down below I place the second NMOS. I am done with the MOSFETs. So let me right click and vanish them. So let me fit it to the screen and I'll zoom out a bit more so that we can see them all together. Now for biasing we'll need a DC voltage source and here I go and I click here for the voltage. I'll place it here. Somewhere in between here I'll place it because this will be connected as VDD. Let me place it. Let me right click and vanish it. Now let me make some wirings first. I click here, hold the point, go up to this point, click, then I move rightwards and then come up to this point. I click here, come down and I go and click on the substrate point. So this is one thing I have done. So let me tie it up with the VDD, and also the substrate connection will be tied up to the VDD. So this thing is done here. 2 PMOS is done. Let me draw the ground line. So I come down here at this point, click here, I move rightward, I go a bit farther for the load resistance here, which is not yet in the circuit. I'll place it here. So I click it and finish here. Now I will pick this point and tie it down. Similarly, I'll click the substrate connection, go here and tie it down. For this NMOS, this will be connected to this point, and for this will be connected to the PMOS. And again, this has a substrate connection and I bring it down and connect with the ground line. And let me place the ground here, right click and connect the ground here. So I'll be making the next further connections. I'll click here, come here and connect up to here. And here I'll be connecting these 2 MOS. And here, come up to this point, go up to this point, go straight here, click at this point, go up, connect with this MOSFET. So these connections are done. Here comes the point. Here I will place one particular resistor here. We right click here, point here, click, come up to this point, come up to this point, click here, come up to this point and join. Let me right click and zoom out. I can see everything. Now let me label the pins. So this will be A NAND B and this will be an output pin. So here I click and I click at this point because across the load resistance will be measuring the output. Let me click on save and go this side, click here on the pin. Let me give the name A and this will be input. I click OK and I place here. Next I click at the pin and I give the name B, click input, click OK and place it here. So let me now place the voltage to or voltage sources which will be used as the input of A and B. Let me click on the component, take the voltage. First voltage I will place here. Second voltage I will be in here. Right click and vanish. Now let me connect the voltage. I click and connect. This will be tied down to the ground. Similarly, this will be tied down to the ground. And here I go and 1 point up and keep up to it. So the A and B points are now connected with their respective voltage source. Let me save it. Now let me check the parts of this circuit. Here we have the DC biasing voltage. We have the input voltage for A and this is input voltage for B. Okay, now we have two PMOS and two NMOS. These are monolithic MOSFETs and we have a load resistance here. And we have an output pin here. All are connected here and the ground is there. This substrate connection is done. This substrate connection is done. This substrate connection is tied up and this substrate connection is tied up. So all connections are done for this particular circuit. Now let me configure the value of all the placeholder items that are here we have placed and checked. So first let me go to the PMOS. Here the length will be 20 micro and this will be 200 micro. Similarly for this PMOS it will be 20 micro and this will be 200 micro. Now the NMOS will be half of the area. We'll keep the gate length same as per technology note. The gate length remains the same and we change the width. So here the gate length will be 20 micro where the width will be 100 micro, that is the half of the PMOS. Similarly for this NMOS, again this will be 20 micro and the width is 100 micro. So the NMOS have a half width, that means the half of the area for mobility balancing in between the hole and electron in both PMOS and NMOS components of the CMOS, because these are monolithic MOSFETs. Now let me configure this voltage as value will be 5 volt and the name will be changed to VDD. This will be load resistance and the value will be 100K. I click OK and here it will be R-load. So here let me click save. Here let me right click and go to advanced and I'll click on the pulse. So here I will be giving the values 0, then 5, then 2 micro, then 1 F, that is femto, 1 F, then T on will be 2 micro and this will be T period will be 4 micro and there will be 10 number of cycles. So let me check the values 0, 5, 2 micro, 1 F, 1 F, 2 micro, 4 micro and 10. I'll click OK. And here I will click and go to advanced and here I will click on the pulse and here I will start giving the values 0. This will be 5. This is 0, This is 1F. Again, this will be 1F. This is T on is 1 micro and T period is 2 micro. Number of cycles will be 20. All these values and their explanation have been explained in the theoretical episode, so I'll not be repeating them as this is an application episode. So those who are interested in going to the theoretical part, so please go ahead and watch the theoretical episodes on this particular kind of voltage sources, that is the independent voltage source. We have two separate episodes for independent and dependent voltage source. So here let me recheck 0, 5, 0, 1F, 1F, 1 micro, 2 micro and 20 cycles. Okay, so I click OK. Now I will click save and all the things are done here. Here you can see that, and let me check, two things are remaining on the SPICE directive. That one thing is .IC, that is for the initial conditions, and I place it here, and then I place the .tran. Okay, click it here and place the .tran. Now I'll save it and I'll right click on the tran and this opens up. So here I'll provide the values here. Top time will be 10 micro. Start time or saving data time will be 0 time point from onwards, which will be saving the data. Here this will be 1 nano, which is the time step. And I think we are done here. So I'll click OK. Let me click on save. And now let me go ahead and routinize the circuit. So this is VDD with 5 volt. This is a pulse source which we have given to the GUI. And here again this is pulse source which we have given to the GUI. We have mentioned pin A here, pin B here. These two PMOS has double the area of the NMOS, these two NMOS. We have the load resistance here and we have the output pin A and B here. Okay. And now we have provided the transient analysis. And very good point that we have placed the ground 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 substrate connections are properly done. So our circuit is scrutinized. So what I will do, I will vanish these lines and I'll save the circuit again. I'll click on the run simulation. So here you can see this is our pin A. We can directly go and click on pin A to get the voltage. I click on the keyboard button B to get another pin, and here I go and click on B. So we can see the two different pulsed waveform that is in the shape of squared wave are there, and you can see this second one is half cycle than this one. It has a much higher frequency. And let me click B again to make another pin available. Let me click on the A NAND B. Let me bring on my marker pen. And now I will check the truth table of NAND. For 0, 0, it will be 1. So here it is 0. Here it is 0. Both inputs are 0. And the output is 1. For 0, 1, this will be 1. For 0 and this is 1. So this is 1. And then again A will be 1 and B will be 0. So here I can see A is 1 and B is 0, and for that it has 1. And when both are 1, so this part it is 1, A is 1, B is 1, and you can see the output is 0. So it satisfies with the NAND truth table. So this is for a particular cycle, right? And this keep on repeating. So we have done checking within this one. So the visual checking of the NAND output is done. And in this case, we have seen that the 1 is here. Sometimes the 1 could be here also. In some circuits, you will find our checking is done, the truth table or the NAND. And I'll clean the graphics here. So we have successfully constructed a CMOS NAND circuit using monolithic MOSFETs, where we have used the PMOS area double as the NMOS area for the mobility balancing between the hole and electron. and we have configured the several things around this MOSFET connection of the NAND gate to give the input and getting the output, and our output is coming as conforming to the NAND gate truth table. So the circuit construction is successfully done. The simulation results are conforming to the NAND truth table. We have to check one more thing. This is a mandatory thing for our engineer to check. I'll go to the view and then I'll go for the SPICE output log, and here we can see there is no error. Okay, we don't see any error. This is a must have check that should be checked, right? And I think that mandatory check is done and all things are good. And let me go ahead and view the SPICE netlist. Okay, so here you can see the SPICE netlist. Here is the 2 PMOS with double the area of the 2 NMOS. And we have VDD here, we have output R load here, and we have 2 different pulse sources in the input, and these are model declaration, and from this library these MOS models are being accessed. And we have our transient analysis here with the .IC. The SPICE deck is looking also very good, so I'll clear the markings. Here I am done checking the SPICE deck. So 2 mandatory things for our engineer to check is that one is the SPICE netlist. It is as per the proper syntax or not, and the SPICE output log. So we do not have any error in that. So that is done. Let me close it, and we are done here in the CMOS NAND circuit construction and simulation using LTSpice. Thank you very much for watching up to this point, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In case you have some dislikes, put that as in words in the comment section down below. And bye for today.